Hello,
We're
Mike.
back. Hey.
We're always back. It's become like a regular thing. I love it. So, questions. People love them questions, so we keep giving them the questions. What do we have today, Mike? Who do we have for this beautiful show?
This time I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to bring on a guy that loves his quotes. I thought maybe we'll get some interesting takes on this one. We got Ryan Permison joining us today.
We got the quote.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, fellas, and thanks for having me. This is going to be fun, one way or the other. I love it.
Well, even if it's not fun, we make it fun. So that's always a good thing. So, I assume you have seen the show.
Yeah. Saw some bits and pieces here and there. Yeah, looks like a great show.
Well, this is how it works. We give you, I think it's 14 questions disguised as 12. But we give you the question, you give us the answer. Yeah, you might roast you a bit if it's too crazy. But if it's not, then we just talk about it. So, uh, let's get this road train going today. Mike, give us a start.
Question 1. What's a movie or movie moment that started your love for movies?
I would say it's a combination of two films. One was Disney's Aladdin, and the second one would be Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, starring Jim Carrey, because those were the first two movies where I started quoting them when I was in school to my fellow students, and they laughed at everything I said. They loved it because I just felt like quoting them. I wanted to entertain my friends when we were around school. We were having kind of a bad day, and I wanted to get people's spirits up. And they also inspired me to get into acting. So I got to thank Jim Carrey and the late great Robin Williams for that. So I would say a combination of those two films were what started my really big time like fanship, my love for film.
Aladdin, you mean the animated one, right?
Yeah, the whatever that thing was called, a remake that Disney likes to do every 5 minutes is remake every other film they've made. Why? Makes no sense. If the original, if the wheel isn't broken, why fix it? That's the question, really. But yes, the original Aladdin is a masterpiece. So thank you, Disney, for that.
I kind of agree. I really like this movie a lot, but it does feel like they went for a completely different audience to me than what they were doing before. Because Little Mermaid, okay, they go for the girls, they go for like the romantic thing. Okay, then they give you Beauty and the Beast. I'm skipping the Rescuers on purpose, but they give you Beauty and the Beast, and it's a beautiful, perfect film. Like it's going for like it's still a princess film. It's like more of a wide audience thing to me. It's my number two Disney animated movie of all time, and they did completely change the way they wanted because Aladdin is made for like young kids, young boys, and they like to be the rascal and the jokes and the genius like joke. I mean, and it is great. But then they throw in the Lion King, which is another regal movie, so it kind of feels like a deviation from the norm a little bit, maybe, but it works. I mean, it. Some people love this way more than I do, but I think it's a good movie. You have seen this movie, Mike? I know you don't like cartoons.
Yes, I've seen this movie, and I love this movie. It's a great fucking movie.
Good stuff. And the other one you mentioned, no,
Yeah.
this is just funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what people say. This movie's hilarious. Einhorst Finkel is Einhorst.
Yep.
A little, actually, it can be a little sexist now that I think about it.
Mm.
But still,
And
funny.
a very beautiful Courtney Cox is in it. We can't forget about her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and it has Dan Marino in it too.
Yes.
Yep.
The
Yep.
Dan Marino. Yeah. He gets kidnapped and then Ace has to save him at the end of the day. It's great.
Funny picks, man. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I took out. No, I took out
Okay.
the wrong. There we go.
Wait a minute. You're shuffling the deck of cards again. What's going on?
So, what is the first movie you remember seeing in theaters?
You know, it's funny. I had to think about this for a little bit because I remember seeing a few, what was it, like Disney films, other 90s films there, but I actually thought about it. I'm like, you know what? There was a movie that's a little bit older than some of the other ones that I did remember seeing in theaters. I went with my family to see this movie. So it wasn't just me. It was my parents, my brothers. We all went to see it, right? It was 1991. and it was a little film called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. When I was, gosh, I must have been
You broke
less.
Nazario.
I wasn't even 4 when this movie came out. I think I was 3 when it came out in the summer, or maybe it was the late. What was it? The fall, maybe. I'm not sure what the exact release date was. I wish Movie Mance, if he was here, he would know. But yeah, Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. I remember going to the theater, seeing this with my family, and then this big door opens up, right? This giant door opens, and it's these 2 new characters, and like, whoa, these characters are mutated like the turtles. Who are these guys? And then it's Toka and Razor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then when Mikey says, "Didn't we see these guys on WrestleMania?" I'm like, I don't watch pro wrestling, but yet I think I got that reference. I don't know what, but maybe my brain connected it to my brothers watching wrestling back in the day. I don't know. But Ninja Turtles 2 was I don't remember a whole lot because, like I said, I was less than 4 years old when this happened.
Yeah.
But I remember just enjoying myself, having a good time, and I think I was singing "Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go" later outside of the theater, or later, like that whole week or month, I was probably humming or singing that song somewhere in my mind or out loud because it's a fun song, man. Look, what is it? Is Vanilla Ice going to be remembered as one of the greatest musicians of all time? He probably wouldn't end up on the Mount Rushmore of musicians, but you can't deny the impact that song, the Ninja Rap song, had on kids like us who grew up in the 90s. It was a big deal in 91. It was huge. And we were there for the ride and we enjoyed it. And plus, you recast April O'Neil with Paige Turco, who's done so well for herself on CW's The 100. She was on CBS's drama series Person of Interest with Jim Caviezel and Michael Emerson. So Paige Turco, you killed it as April in 2 movies, and then you go on to do those great TV series. Granted, they happened much later in life, don't get me wrong, but you're great, and we love you for it. So Paige Turco, we salute you.
I actually did. It's weird because when I was a kid, I did notice that they traded in Judith Hope for Paige Turco, and I was like, yeah, April looks different.
A lot different, and her apartment looks different.
Yeah, nothing against Judith Hope, but I think Paige Turco was cuter for like my young self, so I was like, I'll take it. But yeah, this is actually a particular movie for me because I love the original. Like that's my jam. Even though I was 9 or 10 years old when it came out, I love that movie to the core because I think it was a little darker. It was a little like rougher. Raphael Gel, damn, and stuff.
Yes,
and like,
yes. Yeah. I laughed so
I'm
hard
into
at that.
this.
It's
I'm
so
into this
fun.
so much. Obviously, something happened between 1 and 2 because 1 in this movie they don't use their weapons at all. It's like they rather grab anything they find around to use us to fight, and more of a jokey thing instead of using their weapons. And Toka and Russ, even though they're pretty great, and Vanilla Ice is always great, it's a definitely kiddification of the movie. I think that the costumes are better in this one. I think the effects of the turtles actually work better because they had a little more budget, but the whole movie feels more like kid-centric. So even though I enjoy it, I prefer the original. But this is the last time the live Ninja Turtles actually satisfy me, to be honest, because three we'll speak about, and Big Turtles, we don't speak about those either. So
yeah, I completely understand. And Kino was good in this too. And I had the pleasure of meeting Ernie Reyes Jr. at a convention. Great guy. Had him sign a print of him and Raphael, one of the shots from the film, of the second film. He was great. So and Kino was kind of seeing this world for our eyes. It's like there are mutated creatures and there's a woman living in this apartment with them. What is going on? So Kino was like, I mean, come on. And Raph and everybody is just hilarious.
The one where they move to a train station, which is actually pretty sweet too.
Yeah.
When they find their lair, which I believe was an abandoned railway, or what was it, metro station. Yeah, that was cool. And then it's all dusty and terrible. And then they get on the phone. They're like, "Have you seen Raphael by any chance?" And it's the Raphael phone booth scene, or phone, when they were using it in the underground lair, that was funny too. Like trying to load everything in, and everyone's like, "Aren't you gonna help me or not?" It's hilarious. Sorry, I could talk about Turtles 1 and 2 all day. So
I did a funny again. Oh.
You gotta love Splinter in those movies. Love Splinter.
Mike, you watched this film?
Oh yeah, I love the first 2 Ninja Turtles movies. This one is definitely great. It is definitely goofier. than the first one, but I'm all for it. I'm all for the goofiness in this movie.
Good stuff. Number
Question
three.
3. If you could pick one movie from any era to be able to see in theaters, which movie would you choose?
Since before the situation that we're in right now with COVID-19, I've had the pleasure of they've re-released some classic films, in my local theater, so I'm able to go back and see those movies. So that's kind of why this question was a little bit harder for me, because it's like, well, a couple of the classics I would have wanted to see have been re-released in theaters, so I've had the pleasure of sitting down and watching them. But I had to think about it. But you know what? I'm gonna make a left turn. I don't think anyone's gonna see this one coming when everyone's watching this. But you know what? If I had to go back and see a movie for the first time in theaters rather than watching it on VHS and later on DVD formatting, I'm going to kick it just 1 year later, 1992, and see Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, and Jack Nicholson kicking it in the courtroom with A Few Good Men. I'm going to go with that because that's one of my favorite all-time courtroom dramas. It's one of my favorite dramas, bar none. I think the cast is incredible. I think the film is great. I think the story's great. Everything about that movie holds up. Like, almost, what are we at now? Like almost 30 years later, it's incredible. The movie is great. Aaron Sorkin killed it. Rob Reiner directing it is great. Just everything about the movie, you are with these characters and you want to see justice be done in the right way, and just to follow Tom Cruise's journey from being kind of a guy who's just used to plea bargaining his cases to finally like stepping up to the plate and putting this case in the courtroom, presenting his argument, trying to get his clients to be declared not guilty. I think it's a great character piece, and it's just a really good dramatic film for all intents and purposes from A to Z. It's fantastic.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to them.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth. That's a good
great.
One.
That whole scene is incredible.
I actually have seen this in theaters when I was 12 years old. So, Mike, do you like this movie?
Oh yeah, I like my favorite moments of this movie is when they're preparing in their apartment. Those are such great moments in there. As
montages.
Yes, this is an amazing movie. I love this. I love Tom Cruise. Anything with Tom Cruise, I'll go and watch. This is a great fucking movie.
So good.
Yeah, actually, this is a one that my dad took me to, and he loved it. He had to explain some of the things to me because I was very young. But when I rewatched it older, I actually agree with you. This is a very cinematic movie, and it does get a bit from the theater. It's a weird choice because usually people go with more like spectacle-based things because you want those spectacles in the big screen. This is all like personal, courtroom, intense shit. But still, I love the pick. Did you get to experience physical movie rentals, like going to a store and picking up VHS or DVD?
Oh boy, yes. I remember going to my local library. I remember going to my local Errol's, which was a video store chain in my area and a few other areas. I'm not sure if it was bigger in other states, but it was definitely a big thing for me where I live. And also, I went to a place, I can't remember the name of it. It was something with Block in it. Oh yeah, Blockbuster Video. Yeah, I went to Blockbuster Video a lot when I was a kid, renting VHS tapes, renting DVDs, renting video games. Hello, people. It was how I was introduced to the world of video games, is because of Blockbuster. So I have the people who worked there at my local one and the other few local ones that I went to thank for that. So thank you, Blockbuster Video. Yes, I remember going in there, going through the aisles for hours on end, trying to figure out what movie or movies, depending on what kind of mood I was in, what movie should I get tonight? Should I get this one over here? Should I get this one over there in this section? Should I get a horror film? Should I get a thriller? Should I get a drama? Should I get a comedy? What? It would take me forever to make a decision, to the point where my dad was saying, son, come on now. Like, we've been here for a while. You got to make a decision.
They're about to close, son.
Yeah, the place is about to close. You need to make a choice, man. Make a choice. So yeah, it was fun. Are you kidding me? Going to Blockbuster and being surrounded by all that goodness of movies and other stuff too was great. It was great for me. So yes, I remember it fondly.
Well, first of all, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Blockbuster Video.
Now, what's your favorite video store then?
I don't know. That's there's only so many I can choose from. I've been in Errol's, which you know, and now, oh, I almost forgot to mention, West Coast Video was at the beach where I was staying at in Ocean City, so West Coast Video was another one. But if I had to choose one that's my favorite, because there's so many of them, there was Hollywood Video, which tried to compete with Blockbuster, which Blockbuster's still kind of better than you, Hollywood Video, sorry. I'm gonna have to go with Blockbuster because they had everything. They literally had
Yeah.
everything. They had the shows that I grew up on as a child I could rent on VHS. For instance, VR Troopers, Power Rangers, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, Big Bad Beetleborgs. And on the other side, you had the James Bond movies. You had the Arnold Schwarzenegger films. You had Sylvester Stallone. You had just anything and everything. So yeah, thank you.
Over
Blockbuster
10,000
Video.
tapes in every store.
Pretty, yeah. I remember they had one copy of videos, and then they were like, "Okay, guys, we know the demand's pretty high. We have more copies of it now." So then, when I would walk in, there would just be this whole bunch of shelves with one movie in it because they knew that the millions and millions of people wanted to go in there and rent them. So yeah, you had to satisfy the audience. Supply and demand, folks.
So, when you actually started earning money, I don't care if it was like mowing the lawn of your grandma's house and she gave you a quarter. Anything. The first time you earned a single red dime, what was the first movie you chose to rent with that money?
I had very generous, loving, and I still do to this day. My parents were great. My parents had the membership at Blockbuster, so when my dad didn't feel like going into the store, he would just give me the card and I could go in there and rent whatever. So technically, it was still on his dime, even though I had money of my own. But what can I say? My parents are very generous. But if I had to remember going in and getting my own movie for the first time, just for sake of argument, I don't really remember which movie was the first. But if I had to throw one out there, I'd probably go with 97's Tomorrow Never Dies, from the Pierce Brosnan James Bond saga. If you, because growing up in the 90s, Pierce Brosnan was my James Bond, so I'd probably have to go with Tomorrow Never Dies. I'm not really sure if that's the first one, but that's one of the first films that comes to my mind.
Oh, decent pick for your first movie to rent for yourself.
Yeah, 97.
Yeah.
It was a good year.
I disagree on being a good year for animated movies because I really don't like anything that came out that year in animation. But as it comes to Pierce Brosnan and James Bond movies, this is my third favorite out of 4, which is not great. Honestly, I think the best one for my personal taste is The World Is Not Enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it still has Dr. Christmas Jones in it, everything else works. My second would be GoldenEye. This would be my third, and we do not really talk about Die Another Day. That movie.
That's fair. Hey, I admire that. Now, I don't hear too many people say, "Oh, my favorite of this year or my favorite of that moment was World Is Not Enough." I do not hear that, but I respect that.
It had a garbage song, man. Come on.
The theme song was really good. The theme song was really good. I am not going to deny that.
I really like the Robert Carlyle angle too. So good stuff. But this one has Terry Hatcher.
Grew up watching her as Lois Lane on Lois and Clark. Yeah, so Terry Hatcher, you've done 2 incredible things in your career. You were one of the greatest Lois Lanes in the history of the Superman mythology, and then you become a Bond girl. You're immortalized as a Bond girl in one of the better Bond films, respectively, at least for me anyway. So Terry Hatcher, great job. Too bad you went on to be desperate and a housewife. That didn't happen. But good on these first 2 accomplishments.
Fun fact. She played Stallone's sister, not wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched that match.
Worsen.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw your comment. I got you.
Okay. Next question. Let me
move on.
Here.
Gee whiz.
Who's your favorite actor?
Oh, man, there are so many of them. Here's the thing. I'm going to answer this in 2 different ways, if I may. I hope I'm not breaking too many rules here. But favorite actor of the past, like I said before, some of the first movies I watched were Aladdin and Ace Ventura, right? So I would have said Robin Williams and Jim Carrey. But if I have to decide who's my favorite actor right here, right now, and who needs more projects once Earth reopens after this COVID-19 situation, I'm going with Henry Cavill. I think he is the best, one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood today. He doesn't get enough credit, this guy. Yes, he's done The Witcher. Yes, he's done Fallout. Yes, he is the greatest cinematic Superman of all time, Man of Steel. What's up, Henry? But man, he needs to be in so much more than what he's getting. I think the few films he's been in, he's done great. Don't get me wrong, but he needs to be in like literally everything. Yeah, there you go. Put this guy in everything. This guy knows how to sell it. This guy knows how to act. He loves his fans. He appreciates his fans. He's willing to go above and beyond the Call of Duty for a role. He's willing to go above and beyond the Call of Duty to respect and give love and appreciation to his fans. I mean, heck, one of my best friends was at a convention and got a picture with Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot. And I'm still angry at her for that, but I still love her. But it's like, dude, you saw Kal-El before this guy did. That's not right. It's not cool. But I respect it anyway. So yeah, Henry Cavill, put him in everything because the guy is a beast when it comes to being fit, and he is a beast when it comes to being a great actor. He knows how to do it to it. So give Henry Cavill everything.
He's actually pretty great in as Superman, even though most people don't like that take. I agree with you, my man. Man of Steel, to me, is the best Superman movie that I have made. People tell me that it's just because it's a Batman movie, this guy says a Superman movie, and I love Batman. I don't care if that's the reason. I still love it. It's the only one I actually own. Well, I also own Batman versus Superman, but it's Batman. So, good choice. I actually like his role in Mission Impossible too. It was pretty good. The part when he's locking up his
I mean, dude, it's in the trailer. It's in the trailer, and he's like, all right, here we go. And then throws the guy through the mirror, or Tom throws it. It's just, that scene is so intense. It's ridiculous. And Cavill doesn't even have to take off his shirt to lay the smackdown on this guy. He just cups his arm.
Well, if he takes it off.
There we go. Well, in that scene, in another film he does, but in Fallout, he's just like, okay, come at me, bro. I'm ready to destroy you.
So moving on with that same idea, who's your favorite actress?
Whew, man, there's been a lot of wonderful, incredible actresses that have come through the pipe in Hollywood and other films and other projects. Going back, growing up, I remember watching one or two, maybe just one film that just took my breath away. For the past, I'm going to give it to Sandy B. I'm going to give it to Sandra Bullock. It was called The Net, with that girl from the bus. And secondly, if I have to say favorite actress of today, I'm probably going to go, once again, Mission Impossible connection here, folks, Rebecca Ferguson. I'm going to go Rebecca Ferguson. I think she is a force to be reckoned with in, what was it, Rogue Nation, I think it was? Rogue Nation, yeah. Rogue Nation, she was a force to be reckoned with. Fallout, she was fine. She wasn't given a whole lot to do. Plus, she changed her hair color a little bit. Rebecca, why would you change your hair color? You were great in Rogue Nation. If the wheel's not broken, young lady, I don't think you necessarily need to fix it. But then again, if you want to show, hey, things have happened to you, you've been through some stuff in life after Rogue Nation, that's fine. I'm okay with some blondness thrown in there. But as a brunette, I dig it. Just saying, Rebecca. But yeah, Rebecca Ferguson, I look forward to seeing her in more projects because I think she did really good Rogue Nation. She was fine in Fallout. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's supposed to be in a movie called Red Notice with Dwayne Johnson, I think, which is like a spy movie of some sort. I'm not sure.
Men in Black.
But give her everything. What's that?
She was in Men in Black.
Oh, really?
I have
International?
My man.
She was Men in Black International?
Yeah, she had 4 arms. Sexy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I chose not to see International because for me, Men in Black ended after the first one. But I did see Men in Black 2, but that was no.
Actually, she also is my favorite part of The Showman. That's musical. That is actually not very good, but she plays like an opera singer that has like a show-stopping show in the middle of the movie.
Oh, I see. Great. The Greatest Showman, you mean?
Oh yeah, The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman with
I don't remember the right name, but she actually has a great part in that movie. It's one of the few things I actually do like. And yeah, she was in Men in Black International, also a movie that honestly I feel is a little bit underrated. In my opinion, it's better than Men in Black 2, but that's a pretty low bar.
Yeah.
She was fun in it. And actually a great pick because she's an interesting actress whenever she appears on screen. I hope she gets more roles though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let's go with who's your favorite director?
Man, I gotta say, these are some great questions here, fellas. But for favorite director, most people would think, oh, Ryan, you talk about these films sometimes, you dress as these characters, it has to be this one guy, right? And I'm like, well, you'd think I would say that, but I'm actually going to take another left turn, and I'm going to switch up and say James Mangold. James Mangold. He
Ooh.
directed great films such as the remake of 310 to Yuma. He directed great films like Logan. He directed great films such as Girl Interrupted with Winona Ryder and Angelina Jolie, which got her Oscar that year for Best Supporting Actress. I mean, James Mangold, the guy knows how to direct dramatic pieces, and he also knows how to direct comic book movies. So if I'm going to give credit to anybody, I got to give James Mangold some credit, because 310 to Yuma, that's one of my favorite Westerns ever made. It's 310 to Yuma
Yeah, it's
with,
a great
who do
fucking
you have in
movie.
there? You have Batman and you have Jor-El. Hello, Russell Crowe. Best Jor-El of all time. Sorry, Brando. Didn't really do it for me. You got arguably one of the best actors to ever put on the cape and cowl was I'm Batman. And you also got the best Jor-El in cinematic history with Russell Crowe in the same movie at the same time. That's
And
insane.
you have Ben Foster, who steals the
Yes.
fucking movie from everybody. Like,
he's very
is
good. He's
fucking
very good in the
incredible
movie.
in that movie.
He's very good in the movie. I'm not going to deny that. So yeah, James Mangold, I think he's got a lot going for him. He's done a great job in the past. I think he's going to do a really good job in the future. So once Earth reopens, James, we'll sign you some more contracts, give you some more signing bonuses. You'll be good to go.
He also directed Ford v Ferrari from last year.
Which
Yeah.
I still need to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
Excellent film. He directed Walk the Line. Excellent biopic.
Yeah, that was a good.
And he directed Copland, which I actually feel is a very underrated Sylvester Stallone film, because it's actually pretty good, even though it didn't make any money in the box office. And also, he actually might be a little underrated on the romantic thing part, because he did Night and Day with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz, which is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Sweet Creamy Butter. Delicious creamy butter. Kate and Leopold.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are you going with this? Okay.
Sexy stuff. Good
Definitely a
direction.
unique pick, but I like it. I like
Yeah.
that pick.
Good pick, my man.
Yeah, thanks.
Wow. What's your favorite movie?
That's the $1 billion question, isn't it? Now, here's the thing. I have some of my films rated on our good friends at letterboxd.com, which you can check out later, which I'll plug at the end here. But, I was thinking about it, and then I rewatched one of these movies recently, and I think it jumped up a spot for me. So I'm going to go back, and it's because of this hero that I love it so much. I love this superhero so much. He inspires me each and every time I'm feeling down, or whenever I just need to pick me up, if you will. Give it back to Henry Cavill, because I'm going with Man of Steel. Yes, I'm going with Man of Steel. I saw it not once, not twice, 5 times in the theater, okay? 5 times. That's how good that movie is. That's how underrated I think that movie is. Zack Snyder, I may not be the biggest Zack Snyder supporter in the world, but when Man of Steel came out, I was like, whoa, Zack Snyder, you know how to direct. You know how to bring something to the comic book movie table. Because your other films, 300, good. Watchmen made me feel depressed and maybe want to, I don't want to watch it ever again. It's very weird. But Man of Steel was what brought you to the dance, my friend. It brought you to the dance. And boy, did it make an impact. Because this is how you adapt a classic character and give it something new. You breathe new life into a character that has been established for nearly 8 freaking decades. Okay, man? Nearly 8 decades. And you rejuvenated it. You rebooted it successfully, I might add. Great score by Hans Zimmer. Great acting performances from Jor-El. Russell Crowe, Henry Cavill. Diane Lane as Ma Kent. Oh, my
Kevin
gosh.
Costner.
Give Costner. Yes, Costner as well. Just everybody. Pretty much everybody in this film killed it on every level. Michael Shannon as Zod. I mean, it's awesome-tacular, if I could borrow a word from an internet celebrity. It is fan-freaking-tastic. And you know what Man of Steel gives me? It gives me hope. You may think, oh, what are you talking about? There's destruction in 2/3 of this movie. Who cares? It adds to the story. It adds elements to the story. Seriously, when he's choking Martha and he grabs him, flies him through Smallville, you think you could threaten my mother. That is the anger. That is the fury that I've wanted to see come out of Superman for so long that we've never seen it on screen. At least, no disrespect to Christopher Reeve's adaptations, but I didn't really see too much anger in those movies, Chris. Just saying. But Henry Cavill delivered. So Man of Steel, favorite movie. I just rewatched it a couple weeks ago so I can refresh my mind. It's Hans Zimmer. Give the guy honorary Oscars for that score. One of the best cinematic scores you're ever going to hear in a film, period. Anyway, back to you.
I agree that this is one of the best DCU movies. I know it's not a popular opinion, like we said before. This is my number three. I have it after Wonder Woman and Shazam, but above anything else. And I do think it's a good movie. It may go a little too long for my taste. I think that they could have edited about 30% of the destruction of the world.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think the beats work. I think the ending beat work. My dad, who's actually a big Superman fan, doesn't like this movie at all because he said that the ending where he has to kill Zod betrays the principles of what Superman is. To that I say, poppycock. He made a choice. He made a choice between saving human lives or saving a deranged maniac who told him basically, I'm never going to stop killing people until you make me fucking stop. Sometimes choices have to be tough, real kids. Not everything is so easy or black and white. That's why Batman is better than Superman, but this Superman is pretty good.
I mean, if you remember the original Batman and Superman movies, he did kill. I mean, do you remember the battle in the Fortress of Solitude at the end of part 2? He grabs Zod, throws him against the wall. He falls into the pit. He's dead. He kills him, literally. And in Batman 89, he kills the Joker at the end of that movie. So Batman and Superman have killed prior to BVS and Man of Steel coming out. Do your research, folks. It helps.
In Batman Returns, he actually hooks a piece of a wall and pulls it and hits a guy in the back of the head with a ton of bricks.
He puts a bomb on the big guy during a battle sequence, throws him into a pit, and he explodes. Yeah. So these characters have killed before. Don't say that this is the first time they've killed, folks, because there's precedent for this.
Mike, why you hate Man of Steel?
I'm not a huge Superman fan in general, but I do enjoy this movie, so I can't fault you for it. It is a good movie. It's nowhere near my top favorite comic book movies, but I enjoy it for what it is. So I cannot fault you for this being your favorite movie. You do have the passion for it, so it's not like you're fucking faking it.
No, I will defend this movie to my grave. I don't care what anyone says. I'm a fan of it, always have been, always will be. I don't care what anybody says to me. And there are other pundits out there who are just as big a fan, if not bigger fan of this film than I am. And I respect those people for doing that. So kudos to you who are fans of this movie, just like we are. Some of us here, anyway. That's okay.
Now for the toughest question.
This people struggle with constantly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Spielberg movies or Burton movies?
Oh, man. I grew up on a lot of these films from both of these directors, respectively. I've grown up on a lot of these films. You know, just ever so slightly, even though one of the other person's films is on a certain list of mine.
Oh my God.
Just slightly, I'm going to give the edge to Spielberg. Just
so fucking close.
I know. I'm going to give it to Spielberg. Ever so slightly, I'm going to give it to Spielberg.
Damn it.
I know. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Man, Spielberg is defeating this bracket right now. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Everyone
I thought you were going to be my boy here.
I was close. Look,
man. You know what? Fuck Man of Steel.
Look, I love a film by the other director so much. I love it so much. And I love another film of his too. Well, not love, but I really like another film of his. But it's just, I've come to love certain films from Spielberg a little bit more than Burton. So I gotta give it to Spielberg.
I mean, I have said it before. I will keep doing this show until someone takes it.
Someone has to take the other side of the bracket, folks. Give him his Burton point.
Exactly. Damn it.
Sorry, Spielberg. Spielberg gets my money. Sorry. Oh, this guy. This actor.
Kurt Russell. Oh, wait. I think I fucked up the order. You do it.
It's you. No, it's you.
Kurt Russell. Yes or no?
I mean, I grew up watching him as Ron Rico, a.k.a. Captain Ron, in the great comedy with Martin Short that I enjoy so much. So I got to say yes to Kurt Russell. Why? Because I grew up on films like Captain Ron. I saw John Carpenter's The Thing much, much later in life, but that film is fan-freaking-tastic. So give John Carpenter's The Thing all the credit in the world. For practical effects, that movie scares the living heck out of you, no matter what age you are. Yeah. So good. What else do I enjoy Kurt Russell in? He's been in Sky High, that's another fun film that he was in. Sky High's a good family fun film. Am I right? Sky High?
Sky High has been connecting the entire call to interview people.
I mean,
That's the one
hey,
movie
but
that's
hey,
brought up with everybody. Which
I
is,
knew who Kurt Russell
yeah.
was long before Sky High. Knew who he was long. Yes.
Yes,
Wow, that is
there
a
it is.
poster I have never seen before. I've never seen this. Maybe because it's written in a different language. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an overseas poster that I am not familiar with. My goodness gracious, but that is a very unique poster. I
Yeah.
will say,
A lot
very
of people
unique.
have been mentioning this movie lately, so I might actually watch it. I think I
You-
did. I
if
think
you
I actually
want-
did watch this when I was a kid with my parents, but I don't
Okay.
remember most of it. So
If you want, somewhere down the line, if you want, we can do a watch along of Captain Ron. We can have some fun with it.
Yeah.
We could. It is
Interesting.
summertime. It's a summer themed movie, so we could do it before
That
the
is
summer's
true.
out. It's a summer movie. Let's do it. Let's put it on the books. Captain Ron. I have it on DVD. I'm down.
David.
So, Bruce Campbell, yes, no, or Groovy?
This is the sad thing about my life. I've never seen an Evil Dead movie, but I know Bruce Campbell pretty darn well from other projects he's worked on, like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, of course, and also a little show called Burn Notice of Sam Axe. Really good show, really great spy/comedy. I can't say Groovy because that's not fair to Bruce, and I haven't seen Evil Dead yet, so that's not fair to him. I'm gonna say yes, Bruce Campbell. Yes.
Won't take it.
I know. I can't say Groovy because I haven't seen Evil Dead. It's not fair to him.
Fair.
But I'm gonna. Oh wow, he's gotten 5 Groovies and 2 yeses. All right. Well, I'm happy to be the second because you know what they say: second is the best. So there you go. I'm happy to be second.
Good stuff. Didn't he have another show about other than Burn Notice?
Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
That was
Oh
great.
my gosh.
A
You know,
fucking
funny-
amazing show.
That's actually a funny thing about Burn Notice. Burn Notice is definitely not a comic book center anything.
Not to spy
But-
show.
They always brought Burn Notice to comic book conventions, like
Yeah.
especially San Diego Comic Con, and there
Yeah.
always just was the small thing and Bruce Campbell. None of the other stars, nobody else. Just like here's Bruce Campbell promoting his hit show. Burn Notice. Okay, so
We like to end it off. Oh no, it's you.
it's me.
Yeah, it's on you. Yeah, because I'm on. I totally forget. We keep fucking it up.
What's the order of the day? No, I'm kidding.
Doesn't matter. Recommend 2 movies people would definitely not expect from you. There.
Yeah, this is the $1 million question. I
You
love.
cannot say Man of Steel. Everybody
No,
knows
I'm not
that
gonna,
one.
I'm not going to say Man of Steel. I'm not going to say some of the other films that have already been mentioned during the course of the show. And I'm not going to say some of the films that some of you who may have known me for more than, 2 minutes may think, oh, Ryan's got to say this one, right? He's going to say this. No, I'm not. I'm going to take another turn. I'm going to zig when you think I'm going to zag. And it's going to be 2 films, and I've seen these films recently that have just knocked me on my tail and just really, great films, right? Number 1, Dog Day Afternoon with Al Pacino. Yes.
Okay.
Attica. Such a great film for so many different reasons. To me, this is, granted, I haven't seen all of his performances yet, but of the performances of Al Pacino that I've seen personally, this is my favorite Al Pacino movie, Dog Day Afternoon. I'm going to give it to him. Really great stuff. Not just the Attica. There's a lot of unexpected moments of comedy in this movie, especially in the first 20 or 30 minutes when they're trying to figure out how to pull off this bank job. So good. And the second film I want to tell you about, Dog Day Afternoon, is fantastic. Al Pacino, you rocked it, man. I'm going to kick it Hitchcock style, Alfred Hitchcock, and I'm going to kick it with Rear Window. Yes,
Oh.
Rear Window. Jimmy Stewart, Grace Kelly of Monaco. Grace Kelly, gorgeous, beautiful actress. Beautiful, no matter what. So I'm going to give it to Rear Window. I've recently watched some Hitchcock films. I've been introduced to the universe that is Alfred Hitchcock. And of the films that I've seen of his filmography, yes, great poster, fantastic. Actually, do I have that poster in my collection? I think I do. Fantastic movie. I love it from beginning to end. It's compelling. It sucks you in from the moment the movie starts to the moment the movie ends. The suspense is there. Grace Kelly, I could watch your movies all day. I'm just saying. And the rest of the cast, Jimmy Stewart, however you want to slice and dice his name, fan-freaking-tastic. So Dog Day Afternoon and Rear Window are the 2 films that I would recommend to people. If you have not seen these movies, do yourselves a favor. plant yourself, sit down, bring in some popcorn, bring your Coke, bring your Sprite, bring your whatever it is that you want to drink. Watch these movies, and I guarantee you will enjoy them for different reasons and to a certain degree. They're fantastic.
Okay, personally, I have not seen Dog Day Afternoon. For some reason, this is one that slipped through the cracks. Mike, have you seen this one?
Yeah, it's a good fucking movie. Like it is the top tier of Al Pacino for me for sure. Heat overtakes it for me, but this is still a great performance in this. The movie is great. It's a fun movie, and Rear Window is just fucking amazing.
On the other hand, yeah, The Rear Window, it's my personal favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie.
There you go.
I actually had a lot of. I love most of the movies that I've seen from him. I haven't seen them all. He has so many. He's so prolific that I think I've seen around 8 movies. But from around those that I have seen, I always used to have like a difficult pick in my top because I really love Vertigo. I really love Rear Window and Psycho. Those 3 are on the top. Saboteur and Rope.
Psycho's great.
Oh, Rope is
Probably
great.
top my 5. I don't know why, but what's the one that everybody picks? Northwest.
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest.
With Cary Grant, yeah.
Yeah, that one didn't connect as hard as with me as most people did. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I would say definitely Rear Window. It's so interesting, and James Stewart is so good in this movie.
I've seen 7 Hitchcock movies. The ones that are outside of the set that I own are Notorious with Cary Grant and Ingrid Bergman, fantastic. And the other one is what was the other one? To Catch a Thief, another Grace Kelly movie. Hello. Let me tell you something. Hitchcock knows how to cast his freaking movies. That guy knows how to
He
cast.
loves blondies. Yes,
He loves the ladies in these movies are just they're dynamite. So yeah, if you have not seen Notorious or To Catch a Thief, watch those because those are great Hitchcock films.
He was actually also kind of a creep. But if you want to learn more about that, watch The Girl with Toby Jones. Great film. great film.
Watch.
So that was a good show.
Yeah.
And again, unexpected recommendations from the quote. I honestly thought you were going to go a completely different way. But that's all we got for you guys today. Thanks, the quote. Mr. Permison. Thanks, Mike, for being here with us today. This has been Call to an Interview. Keep watching. We'll be here all week.
Oh, yeah, I know this song.
Bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next time.